Hi everyone and welcome back to GP Automotive and Diecast. Well, it was kind of a chore, but I did eventually get to fixing that box about a day later, and it's definitely a lot better if you can't tell. So basically what happened is the seller of the item, the whole entire plastic was off completely, no glue, nothing. It was just completely off. Same with the back part, same with the back window. If you didn't go watch my previous video, and you'll understand why I'm saying this stuff. But when I got this model, this was all messed up. So, yeah, so I got around and I fixed it to a degree, I guess you could say. But it's here and it's definitely looking a lot better. I did have to take this part up, and it doesn't look great, but you know, it does the job. And I used heavy duty Scotch, what is that tape called? Not delivery tape, but packing tape, heavy duty packing tape. So that should definitely stay and keep well over the years to come. But the model is a little dusty, but overall it's pretty clean. So let's go ahead, and normally I don't do a 3-part thing for just one car, but in this case I kind of had to, because I mean, I don't know how long it would take me to fix this box. It probably took me close 30 minutes to fix everything. I mean, it's just really difficult. So without further ado, let's get it off the base. Put this box down here so it does not blow away. But yeah, so to give you kind of an idea, I got this model off of eBay for around $28 in total, which I thought was a really good deal. And this model was never opened from its box. I could definitely tell by the condition of the flaps of the box, because they were really stiff, and it seemed like maybe it was just never opened, because it seemed like it was never opened. So let's go ahead and turn it around, get this mess out of the way, and go on to the review, which is this will be a review and finished unboxing, I guess you could say, of the PT Cruiser. So I'm going to keep the straps on this model just because this is kind of a rare car. Normally I take the straps off, but in this case I'm going to keep them on. So this is a very kind of rarer model, I guess you could say, of the PT Cruiser, and you do have full suspension. Not super great suspension, but nonetheless suspension, and steering, of course, which is actually pretty good. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start off at the front. Maisto did a pretty good job with the front of this PT Cruiser. The headlights are very good on it. There is one peg to be seen, but right there. But now that I pointed it out, but when you look back, really, it's hard to tell. I think they did a pretty good job with the headlights and the plastic front bumper, just like the real PT Cruiser. You have the Chrysler badge right there, painted on, so just be careful when you're cleaning the model. And no opening front hood, which is kind of disappointing. Fog lights down there. Got your chrome wheels with your black mirrors, with your kind of black trim along here and on the doors and stuff. I'm not going to open the doors, but you can tell, so there's wood right here, which is actually very, very cool. But you will be able to tell the interior, so this makes a difference. There. So in the interior, Maisto does a really good job with the color matched interior pieces with the dashboard. Did a very good job with the air vents, climate control, steering wheel. I said they did just an overall really, really, really good job with the interior. Even the seats and everything, like the seats have a very nice texture, and the gear selector has all the gears printed on it, handbrake, and the leather is in very gray. I would assume this is the leather. It kind of looks like a leather pattern. I know you could get leather on the PT Cruiser. But yeah, so just I feel like a very good representation of the PT Cruiser. Motor Max didn't make a 1/18 scale version of this car, but it's, Motor Max is not really a great brand. Maisto's just, I feel like, the best model car brand for the money that you could do, or you could get. The wood does continue actually to the back of the PT Cruiser, which is kind of a cool feature. Have the Chrysler license plate right down there. Have the black bumper with the turn signals and reverse lights with your little exhaust pipe right there. They did a very good job with the tail lights actually. I don't even see. Okay, there is a peg right there, but it is actually quite hard to see. So they did a good job with that. Looks like a little factory defect right there. Scratch or something. It looks way bigger on camera, but it's actually quite small in real life. But I could probably get that off with some like remover or something like that. But I can open the trunk for y'all because that was already opened. Maisto did a really good job with the, I feel like, with the rear cargo area of this PT Cruiser. It's a textured material with these little slats in your wheel wells right there. It's actually a little cargo cover. And if I could, see if I could get an interior view, just like I do in my real car reviews. There we go. So you can see they did a really good job with the climate controls and radio controls. All looks very familiar from the Chrysler and Daimler Chrysler products and Dodge and all those vehicles from the time. Looks very similar. Your gauge cluster up there, turn signal stock. I feel like the turn signal stock is a little crudely cast, quite big actually. I don't feel like they did a great job with that, but you don't have any headliner, but that's not a super big deal. I mean, this is a budget scale model from, I believe, 2001. The box does say 2001 on it, so I would assume that normally corresponds on the Maistos. That date normally corresponds to the date this was actually made at. And the paint is actually flawless. Maistos from the time didn't have great paint. You would see a lot of orange peel on some of the models. But for some reason, this is just a very great paint job. In the 90s, they weren't doing great paint jobs, but starting in the 2000s, they kind of got it down, and they were doing a better job with their paint jobs. You do have man, I can't talk. Real rubber tires, kind of a tongue twister, but real rubber tires, and this model does roll quite well. For a 1/18 scale model with steering and suspension. But here on the base, a very good detail with the Chrysler PT Cruiser right there. And kind of a cool little thing is, these days Daimler Chrysler Corporation doesn't exist anymore, but back in the day when this model was made and this car was made, it does say Daimler Chrysler 2000 right there, which is kind of cool. Maisto logo made in Thailand, which means it was made at the original factory plant. Maisto didn't make a 1/18 scale model kit of this car, but it is extremely hard to find. I've seen one on eBay, and it was a bid, so you kind of have to guess and place your bid and see what happens, but that's the only one I've seen, and I was actually quite surprised to even see that. But put in the comments down below what you think about this model after I did the review on it with the windshield wipers, which I forgot to mention. But tell me what you think about this model or any of Maisto's other PT Cruisers, because I know they made a flame one, a cow paint job. They were going crazy with this model. It was great. But put in the comments down below if you would get this model made by Maisto or Motor Max. I would get the Maisto, and I did. So, but yeah. So just I feel like this was a great model for Maisto, and obviously this is, in my opinion, the best color. Which is the worst color actually in real life, but whatever. It's still a great color. Yellow woody. Who would have ever bought that in real life? That's just so great. But put in the comments down below what you think about this model, and please subscribe and hit the like button if you haven't, and thank you so much for watching.